This week's episode brought to you by our patron supporters. Remember, every time you listen to this podcast, we debit $10 from your account. Thank you very much.
All right, boys and girls, thank you for joining us for episode 6 About That Podcast. I'm your host, Neil Blakemore. With me, as always, is the best color man in the game, Mr. Luis Cruz, Mr. 0-4. How are we doing today?
Yeah, I think at this point, I am the shadow of Luis Cruz. I am the dust of whatever entity was known as Luis Cruz. 0-4.
Okay.
That's a tough start
Yeah,
right
I mean, even the Dickut got a win. He got a nice little W, so he's in the win column. So it's just you.
Yeah, that's it. So on to that, let's quickly do a recap of what happened on week 4. Luchomaniacs got beaten by the Funsies thanks to that Monday night game. We have Canadian Tiger losing to Brady's Bunch 135 to 117, which means that the one streak game winning that Canadian Tiger had in the rivalry, it's gone. You have Tarnation losing to Average Dickcuts. Who would have thought that would happen? You know, the undefeated team against the winningless team, and takes it. Mata Italia 129 to 150 to Sharks. Then you have Brewery 94 to 114. Yeah, lowest score of the week right there, my friend.
Wow.
Then you have Hialeah Mafia 130 to 113, who beat Team Cassau. When we look at the standings, we'll see the Team Haitian Killer is first, followed by Metropolis Sharks, then Tarnation, and then Brady's Bunch. All of them tie with 3 wins and 1 loss. Then you have Team Hialeah Mafia, the Brewery, Canadian Tiger, Funsies, Team Cassau, all of them with 2 wins and 2 losses. Then you have Mata Italia, Average Dipcats with 1 win and 3 losses each. And then you have the Luchomaniacs with 0 wins and 4 losses for the start of the season. According to the little playoff percentage that we have there, I have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. Power rankings. This is just weird, guys. Again, I mean, you have Team Haitian Killer, which of course is probably going to be happy first in the standings, first in the rankings. Then Tarnation, Average Ditkas with 1 game, all of a sudden jumps to the 3rd spot. Brewery on the 4th. Then you have Metropolis Sharks on the 5th. British Bunch 6th. Mata Italia 7. Canadian Tiger 8th. Funsies at 8, 9. Luchomaniacs at 10. And then you have Hialeah Mafia at 11. And Team Castle at 12. So that is it for what happened. Now let's talk about it, Commissioner.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, I'll start with me with the nut low of the week. With I couldn't even break 100. I had 2 donuts. My tight end got injured in the first quarter. I'll be honest, it wouldn't have made a difference, but I honestly forgot to switch out my defense. That would have broke the 100 mark, I think. But I still would have lost. Shout out to Squid there. You didn't put up many points, but you didn't need to against me. So nice job on rivalry week. With that being said, Mr. Sharks with the 150.2 wins the first $20 pool of the year. We're going to do this bi-weekly. So congratulations to Daniel winning that first $20 with the 150 mark.
Yeah, don't spend it all in one place, kid.
Yeah, he had a bit of a game against Monica there with 129. She had to put up a good score, but it wasn't enough. Again, like you said, I think it was the surprise was Dickut taking down Tarnation. Tarnation had a pretty poor performance with his guys. He barely broke 100. As I'm looking at the scores here, Miles Gaskin had 0.3 with 3 yards rushing. That really hurt him. And his big guy Devontae Adams couldn't come through at all, only the 9 points there. So I think that was the undoing for him.
Yeah, and again, Canadian Tiger, as I mentioned last week, he only has 1 win against Brady Bunch, and that remains the case. He won last year, but then this year, Brady's Bunch again taking the win. And then you have me, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. 0-4. That's tough. I don't know how I'm gonna recover from this.
It is tough, and again, I think it's matchups. I'm not mad at your team. You got a pretty good team. It's just some matchups. I honestly thought you had it against Stacy. You went into the clubhouse up. It's always hard to come back, but she had a big games from Eckler and her quarterback.
Yeah, I think
Justin Herbert.
Herbert is looking very good so far. I mean, he has been very strong in all 4 weeks, I think. Eckler, I think, had a shaky start at the beginning of the season, but I think it's playing very well right now.
He's coming on. So go ahead.
Talking about players really quick, who has surprised you the most so far this season, do you think?
Yeah, well, it's not much of a surprise, right? I mean, you have the big names. Henry has just been a beast. I mean, he seems to start slow, and then the second half, he gets 125 yards, seems like each week. Tyreek Hill had a huge performance. Those are some big names, but I would say Jalen Hurts, who's kind of the first-time starter in Philly. He's been doing very well. He had 28 points this week, which is a great job. And on the other end, I think who's kind of been poor performances, my quarterback, man. I expect a little more to Lamar Jackson. Just get me 20 points, seems like each week. He's kind of inconsistent. He got me 19 this week. It's not what I'm looking for. So maybe that, some other people are up and down, like my guy Aaron Jones is. It seems as well, as I'm looking here, Dalvin Cook has been up and down. So yeah, kind of that, but not a surprise is Christian McCaffrey going down with an injury once again.
Yeah, that's tough right there.
You would think he's on your team with your 0-4 record there, Chris.
I know. But the other team that it's a little bit different this year is the Titans, because AJ Brown had Julio Jones and Tannehill. They all seem to just be different this season. Tannehill was doing so well last season, and AJ Brown was like a top tier wide receiver, and he's injured right now, but he didn't have a good start. Josh Allen, I think he has had one good game so far, and then the other ones are okay games. They're not bad. They're not killing you, but they're not great. I think Brandon Cooks and Corey Davis might be a couple of players that are came kind of out of nowhere, and then Williams from the Chargers, even though not so good this last game, but he has been doing well.
Yeah, he was the number 2 wide receiver coming into the game, and the number 1 wide receiver, Cup, has just been a beast as well, and they're both happen to be on Haitian Killis team, which is unfortunate for the whole league. So we'll see what shakes up in week number 5. So why don't we do that? Why don't we check out week 5 and see what some of the matchups are for the following week? What do you think?
Let's do that. Okay, so week 5, we have the worst team against, almost the worst team. He's probably feeling amazing right now. The Luchamanians versus above average Ditkas. Then you have Canadian Tigers versus Sharks. So Tigers versus Sharks. Then you have Tarnation versus Cassow. The Brewery against the Brady's Bunch. Then we have the 2 girls, the 2 ladies of the league, Mata Italia versus the Funsies. Then the 2 brothers right here, the 2 buddies, Haitian Killer and Hialeah Mafia. So as long as Hialeah Mafia doesn't trade his team away, he should be fine.
That's going to be a fun matchup. Now, I'd like to do something, Cruz. It's going to be the first time we're doing it. It's going to be a segment I like to call Rapid Fire. Okay, so I'm going to bring in one of the best predictors of sports teams. If you give me a moment,
I will give you a
let's
moment.
bring her in. Yeah, let's bring her in. It's Miss Hana Blakemore. Okay, so she's going to do some rapid fire with us and see her predictions. Okay.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Like I said, let's get one of the best predictors in the game to join the show. Everybody, please welcome Hana Blakemore.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hana, how are you today?
Good.
All right. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do some rapid fire predictions, okay? Let me know if you're ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. First up, Brewery versus Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch.
Tiger versus Sharks.
Tiger.
Tarnation versus Team Casal.
Team Castle.
Luchamaniacs versus Above Average Dickas.
Bob versus Dick
Mazza Italia versus the Funsies.
versus the Funsies.
And the last one is the Haitian Killer versus Hialeah Mafia.
Haitian Killer.
All right, there you heard it, everyone. Tune in next week to see if she's right.
So that was our newest addition to the podcast, Hana. She is a world famous, as the commissioner said, predictor. So we'll see what happens. You know, she picks some teams that I'm not so crazy about, but I trust her her method, and we'll see what happens after we finish week 5, which 5, yeah, week 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner. Anything else, sir?
Let's do one prediction with us. Let's pick a game of the week, and we'll do the prediction here. Just one game of the week. What do you want to pick for the game of the week?
Well, game of the week. Let's see here. I like, you know, either the ladies, I think 121 to 120. That's a good. They both have strong quarterbacks. I also like yours because, I mean, you're going against your quarterback, really. That's what probably you want. You probably want P. Mahomes in your lineup right there, Kansas City fan.
I would love to have Mahomes, but I'll tell you what, let's do the ladies, all right? Because that is a close matchup for the projections. It's only, it looks like a point difference. Let's do that, the game of the week. So Cruz, we have Mazza Italia versus the Funsies. Who you got?
I have the Funsies. I think Harris, our running back from Pittsburgh, and Herbert and Eckler are just on fire right now. And I see that at least on here, the projected leaders for Mazza Italia are 2 quarterbacks. So that's not a good thing for her.
Well, correct. But if you have a quarterback on your bench, that's going to be your second one usually. But I'm gonna go against you on this one. I'm gonna pick Monica because I like Dak Prescott in this game against the Giants. She also has Keenan Allen, which is the number 1 wide receiver for Justin Herbert. So that could go touchdowns from there to take kind of negate Stacy's points from a quarterback. I think Jonathan Taylor for running back kind of good game. So yeah, well, I'm gonna go with Monica. You're gonna go with Stacy. We'll see how it shakes out in the end.
We shall see. That's it.
All right, guys. Good luck this week, and tune in next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
What episode is this?
Fuck it. We'll do it live. This is episode 6.
Episode 6. All right, here we go.